Hey, it's Ethan here at etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination E Hitch Bike Rack and how it fits on our 2022 Lincoln Navigator. The Destination E is a 2-bike platform style bike rack capable of supporting up to 70 pounds per bike, so definitely good for those e-bikes. And it's going to hold onto our bike primarily by this frame clamp here and 3 straps down at the bottom. A nice feature that this rack offers is the ability for it to tilt away with the bikes loaded up. So we'll loosen up this hand knob here on the back side, push that forward, and then using this center mast here, we can push it down, and it tilts really aggressively, which is nice because it's a pretty large bike, and if we want to get into the back of our vehicle, we can. We have a good amount of clearance back there, and even more when the bike's tilted away, so I can come down here, sit down, change my shoes, get helmets, anything I might need out of the back of the vehicle for the ride. Now we showed you how to get to the trunk. We can get this bike rack folded back up. So it can be a little bit challenging if you do end up getting those e-bikes on there because of how aggressively it tilts away. But because the vehicle sits so high in our case, it's not too tough. We'll just fit that handle back in there and tighten it down, and we're back in shape. To remove the bike, we'll start by getting these straps undone, just pressing those gray releases in the back, and we can fit them through. As you can see on the straps, there is this rubber molding, which is nice that it's there to protect your tire. So that's 1, 2, and then we'll come around and get this third one in the back. And now, holding onto our bike as best we can while we loosen this up. This will be our last point of contact, so just loosen that until it slides off the frame of your bike. Get it out of the way, and we can get the bike up and off. So I just lifted the bike off in our case, but if you do have some heavier bikes and accessibility is something that's important to you, this rack does come with a telescopic ramp. It doesn't store on the bike, so you will have to remember to bring it with you. Also, you can only put it on one side here and one side on the back. You can't put it on all 4, which is one of the drawbacks in our case, because in our shop, if I were to put it on this side, I wouldn't have enough room to get it off. So that's something you want to consider as far as where you're parking it, on a campsite or wherever you're bringing your bike. We'll get this mast taken down now, just to get it out of the way, and then we can move into a couple of measurements, starting by undoing these rubber straps at the back. You'll fold down these 2 handles, and then you might need to loosen them up just a little bit. And there we go. Fold that down and replace both the handles and the straps. With the bike out of the way, I just wanted to point out a couple things about the tray themselves. So you do have a tire width, a maximum tire width of 4.5 inches. You can see at the front here, at the front of the cradles, these do tilt back and forth a little bit to accommodate different wheelbases up to 50 inches. Now, if you do want to live with the rack in this position, you can see that that mast did add a little bit of length. So let's get a measurement and find out exactly how much. From the bumper to the furthest point back, being the frame clamp, would be 41 inches, so it does stick out quite a bit. As far as ground clearance goes, the Navigator is a pretty tall vehicle, so you can see that the tray does tilt downwards on either side. So on the front here, you're looking at about 23.5 inches, and that's about as high as you're gonna have to lift those bikes too. I will say that it does fold up if you wanna save yourself a little bit of space, so we can show you how to do that as well. Starting by removing this clip on the back side. You might have to wiggle the rack up and down a little bit to slide that pin out, but once you do, you can fold the rack up, save ourselves a little bit of space, and then we can come back around and fit that pin back in, as well as the clip on the other side to secure it. And now we can get that new measurement to see how much space we've saved. So from the back, or from the bumper to the furthest point back now, you're looking at 14.5 inches, so it saves you a ton of space. As far as how close it sits, not close enough that I would worry about it. You still have at least half a foot there, and it doesn't move too terribly bad. It's gonna be a little bit of up and down, but that's normal. As far as what it covers on the back of your vehicle, your backup camera is still pretty much fully visible, your license plate as well, It might cover up a little bit of your taillights from a specific angle, but not too bad, and you might see the very top of it out of your rear window. The rack uses a 2-inch shank that fits into our 2-inch receiver, held in place by this pin with the lock on the end, and is all secured by this anti-rattle handle here. Just turn that and tighten everything down. I will say if you don't want to lower your ground clearance, make sure that it's horizontal when you're done. Also on the shank, there is a nice collar that's in place, so you just line it up with the collar and your pinholes fit right where they're supposed to be.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the solemn. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners and evasive maneuvers. Then we get to the alternating speed bumps. We'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving on uneven pavement. Then we'll go over the full speed bumps, and we can see the up and down action. This will be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or a driveway.
Overall, if you're looking for a bike rack that's capable of supporting that weight capacity for your heavier e-bikes, I think the Hollywood Rack's Destination E is a great option. I do like the ramp that it comes with. I don't love the fact that you can only put it on 2 spots and you can't store it on the bike rack. So if you want that accessibility but you want a rack that stores the ramp on it, check out the Yakima on-ramp. But if you like this bike rack for how it looks and how it performs, you can get this one too. This was just a look at how the Hollywood Rack's Destination E 2-bike platform bike rack fits on our 2022 Lincoln Navigator.